This is PHCL201 CITY Campus, 2025 February. This is our last lecture together for the semester on problems of philosophy. We are going to mop up, fill in every gaps that we may have after we have read through our content, and then also polish it a bit more. Then it is ready for being accountable. Okay. I want to set up with the question that Vincent asked, which I want to be on record for those who may want to play it later. Okay. This is your resource tool I'm projecting. And I'm saying that the content Vincent has asked the question about is there. It is this one, the one on certainty, synthetic a priori. Okay. So I'll project that it is loading. Whilst it loads, I'll project that you used to answer Vincent's question. But let's answer Vincent directly before we go through the whole. Vincent says, when we say analytic truth, I've shared the notes. Vincent, do you see the notes on your platform, the written notes? I sent about 3 versions of it. Very good. Then I've shared recording, so I'm going to reference that a lot. When we say that a certain statement is analytic, and we contrast it, we say its opposite is synthetic. We are saying that the analytic one, if I look at the subject and the predicate of that statement, they are not different. The subject and the predicate are saying the same thing. Example, please, let's refresh our memories on what subject and predicate are. So class, if I say Kofi is a boy, please help me out. What is the subject of this statement? It's English. I want a chorus answer. Very good, Kofi.
Kofi.
And then the predicate is what, please?
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Well done. Yo. So it means when I say Kofi is a boy, the subject is what I am focusing on. Subject, what's the subject matter? And then I make myself the subject. That's Kofi. And then the predicate, what I'm predicating, or better still, what I'm attributing to Kofi. Then I will come and Kofi. What are you saying about Kofi? So that's the predicate. Or if you like, in logic, we say the attribute. So whenever I have a statement like a square is a 4-sided figure. Listen, please, I've projected another slide, okay? Explain analytic. So look at the last example there. A square is a 4-sided figure. What is the subject of that statement, everyone?
A square.
Square, very good. Then the predicate is a 4-sided figure, or is 4-sided. Yes. Now, we see that the subject square and the predicate 4-sided are the same. The content is the same. We are repeating ourselves. The subject and the predicate are one and the same thing. It is just like this other one, this other statement, sorry. The one that came before a square is a 4-sided figure. It is just like this one. Like saying what? A is A. When I say A is A, what is the subject of my statement? Everyone, please.
A.
Good. Very good. And the predicate is also A. So if you were speaking with me and you asked me, Doc, what is analytic statement? Then I say, oh, analytic statement is when you are analytic in your stating. Visit. Did I help you? No. What's critical thinking? Critical thinking is when you critically think about the concept. Hey, Johnny, I don't know critical thinking. I want you to help me, get me information that will add to what I know of that term. What is development? When you develop the nation and embark on developmental project, then it means that is development. What does it mean to develop? You say when you develop the nation, you are going in circles. Tell us that, and remember critical thinking. It's called Secularity, you're going in circles, begging the question. You don't have an answer, so you're using the question to answer itself. Now bring all of that back to what we are doing. So analytic statement, when we say a certain statement is analytic, we are saying that by just looking at the subject and the predicate, you can tell the truth or falsity of the statement. Where it is true, it means the subject is only repeated in the predicate. Where it is false, it means you are saying something that contradicts. Like if I said, so listen, boss, if I said, bachelor has beaten his own wife without mercy. A bachelor has beaten his own wife. Listen, what will be your reaction to that?
It could be a false statement.
Why? You don't like the girl, eh? You and I didn't like that girl who married your brother. That is why.
Now, because
the
bachelor is not married, like
cannot have a wife.
Yeah, so
that's the problem.
How can he?
It is because of the meaning of the word bachelor. Oh, the guy has beaten a lady, but if I go and say, as my statement, that guy is a bachelor, and see how he has beaten his own wife like this, you see that they will leave the issue and start talking about the language. And say that you say the person is a bachelor. How can a bachelor ever beat his own wife? On where? It can't happen in heaven. It can't happen on earth. What is happening? It is in the language, the meanings of terms. So if you look on my screen, I'm saying that by the meanings of terms, you are able to tell the truth or falsity of that statement. Why? Because the subject of that statement and the predicate are only repetitive. So if that repetition is done contrary to how it should be, it will be always false. Our emphasis here is on where the thing is always true. There are two ways of analyzing. The key thing that makes a statement analytic is the fact that, please keep looking on my screen, I'm highlighting something. This is Hume's language, this. Where is my highlighter? This one. David Hume calls analytic statement relations of ideas. When you relate the ideas to each other, it tells you the truth or falsity. You don't go outside of the statement. Break it down, analyze it, open it out. The very statement itself gives you the truth value. Sorry. So if I told you all barking dogs bark, have I given you any new information? No.
Oh.
Because I said all barking dogs. If they are barking dogs, then they will bark. Dog is because dogs bark, that is why. No. All barking chichis bark. It is necessarily true. Whatever chichi is, you don't care. All chichis are chuchus, and all chuchus are chachas. Then it will mean that all chichis are chachas. We don't know what these words mean. It don't matter. By analysis, by the language. So by the language, work out how you are speaking. So if you say, if he is a bachelor, then I want examples that are easier. So if it is a square, then it will necessarily be four-sided. That is what square is. Four sides with equal, measurement all around. That's square. So if you say a square is a four-sided figure, you see that is a definition. That is what we are put here. True or false by definition. True or false by the meanings of terms. Where is it here? Now imagine, say, in class, imagine I told you, I was not in the room that day when the laptop was taken. But when I was in that room that day, I didn't touch the laptop. I like to use some examples that happened. I was not in the room that day. See, when they stole the laptop. However, when I was in that room that day, I didn't touch the laptop. What are you saying? That's what you asked. Then Awoka, were you in that room or you were not in that room? Because you can't say you were not in that room that day. However, when you were in that same room that day, you didn't touch it. The logic, the structure, how it has been arranged doesn't allow us to say the brothers sitting at the back there, or the sisters, let's use sisters, sitting at the back there in that auditorium. Which sisters? Oh, those that are wearing the suit. Can't you see them? Those wearing suit. What have they done? They're totally naked. Oh, it's not good crowd. Totally. I'm saying the same thing with you, My brother, this one, I don't need to go and see anything. If I say, oh, but you can't say that they are wearing suit and are totally naked. You say, oh, you like condoning bad things. I'm telling you, so come and see the way they are. I said, I don't need to come and see. It's not observation based. I don't need to hear anything. What you are saying by the language, see, by definition, by the structure, thought, by what? The nature of the statement. I am able to, please look here now, highlighting again. Yeah, this one. I am able to relate the ideas, the very ideas, the words you are using. Not I want to observe anything. I'm relating the idea because the ideas, the terms have meanings. If I relate the ideas, the two can't live together in one. If he's a bachelor, he cannot beat a wife. I mean, his own wife. No, then he is not a bachelor. Or the one he has beaten, if he has beaten anybody at all, is not a wife. But why? How you want to force it to be shown there? Then we'll be talking absurdity. So by analysis, by relating the idea, by the definition of terms, by logical structure, by definitions, by meanings, I can tell whether the statement is necessarily true or necessarily false. And when we are focusing on analytic statement, we are looking at truth. So it is the true ones that we call them tautologies. If I say a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, it is just like a square is a four-sided figure. That is necessarily true. Maybe I have a phobia in a correct. The language. Someone asked me at main campus, Doc, what if the person was called bachelor? Then I won't say a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. I would say bachelor is a sister who sells banana under the tree. Because it could be the name of a sister. But look at how I spoke. A bachelor, I'm defining, is an unmarried adult male. Have I said anything differently? No, I'm just repeating meanings of terms. And I hope that with this elaboration. So here the focus is on the true, analytic statement that are necessarily true. The necessary truth means if you check and it is a definition that you have defined, like A is A will necessarily be true by force, whether I'm happy with you, sad with you, Christian or Muslim, old or young. A is A, in heaven or in hell, in my dream or alive. If I dream and I see a square face, a square coin or something, it is square, whether I'm alive or dreaming. It is square. Necessarily the case, because of meaning. That's how we use language, my dear friend. I hope that Vincent's concern is clarified. Vincent, is it better?
I'm okay now.
Thank you. The network, they say network, but it's a lie. The devil is a liar. Well, I've seen poor network quality somewhere. I will fire the network here. So say the contrast to that, which you didn't ask, but I want to use that to help you, is that synthetic truths are are informative. They are the opposite. As for a synthetic statement, and I projected that on the screen, the predicate is not repeating what is already in the subject. No. Look at the pattern. A is B. Dogs bark. In the recording, I told you because there is another information I can give you about dogs. This is not repeating itself. Dogging, being a dog, and barking are not the same. Barking attributes that dogs have. But dogs also eat. Yeah, won't they? Dogs, poo, they do poo. Dogs. So if I say dogs bark, I am giving you an information about dogs. I'm adding to what you know about dogs. The dog is the subject matter. I'm attributing something, attribute class, to dog. I am not just repeating. But if I say all barking dogs bark, the subject is barking dogs. What is the predicate? I say bark, but that is a repetition. I didn't add anything. Okay. But synthetic truths amplify, they inform you. So Barca will win the match. What is the subject? Barca. What am I saying about them? That they win the match. Could I have said several other things? Yes, about Barca. Barca hosted a Messi for so and so number of years. It's an information I'm giving about Barca. Synthetic. Go outside of the statement to bring information to it. The way ladies go outside of their natural hair and get synthetic. For me to tell whether the statement Barca will win the match is true or false, I can't use the very statement. No, I can't relate ideas. No. There's nothing in the meaning of Barca that is equal to win, that is equal to match, or opposite to it, for me to use comparison of words in it to tell. I need to leave the statement there and observe. Then what I find in observation can either come to confirm it or deny it. It's synthetic. The sister has left her natural, like Nancy has done. Don't worry. She's going to pick help from somewhere. It's external. Then she has synthesized it, Bakafra, mixed it up. Original plus borrowed, mixed. Look at our conrows and our rastas. See that? It's a synthesized statement, synthetic. That's why Hume calls it, please look in my paragraph here, my bracket here. Hume calls it this. Matters of fact. It's a matter of fact, observation. So if I say it will rain tomorrow, that is not a definition. Rain and tomorrow are not related ideas that you can say, wherever I see rain, it means tomorrow. But when I say bachelor, it means married, unmarried man. So if I say a bachelor is an unmarried man, I can relate those two ideas to tell you immediately whether that is necessarily true. Or if I go and say a bachelor has married and has done that, or that's why it's still not a problem. Until I say a bachelor has beaten his own wife. You see, he's a bachelor, but now he has a wife. I will relate the two words and say they clash and say that is creating a contradiction. It's still by relating ideas. Here, when I say it will rain tomorrow, what am I going to use rain to hit and compare to rain or whale or what? No. So you need to leave that statement there, this one, sitting there, to rain tomorrow, and wait for tomorrow to come. If tomorrow comes and it rains, this statement is true. That is when you're able to tell if it's true. If tomorrow comes and it doesn't rain, this statement is false. So one statement, because it's synthetic in nature, it could be true this minute, the next minute it could be false. It doesn't have necessity. It's not a necessary truth. It is not a necessary falsehood. But a bachelor is an unmarried adult male will be necessarily true everywhere. Tomorrow and today and yesterday, in heaven and in hell, this world and the world to come. Because it's meaningless. So it has necessity, but it will rain tomorrow there. It will depend. So this one we say it has contingent truth. When you get to rationalism, they will expand it a bit more. Okay, it's informative. So if we produce this at a long court, we will need further and better particulars. So we have to go and look for CCTV cameras or how because it is synthetic in nature. The information you are giving is synthetic. We can't do magic to know it. We need to observe. You see, this lady puts rat poison in the guy's food. That day the man points a ear, and all these statements are synthetic. So we'll listen to when we finish. We say, where are your exhibits? Put your evidence, and stuff like that. Put your exhibit. I stopped talking when the network did that. So you can hear me now, right? Hey, please, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
I saw poor network quality. Yes. So I was quiet for a while. I was just saying that. So we will ask you to go and get evidence and bring it before we start. But if I were at the law court and in presenting my case, I said, this man is a neighbor in my house. This is grandma, very respectable woman, giving testimony, saying, he is my neighbor. We kind of say, I tell you the truth that. They say, which of your neighbors? Because I have three. I am the landlady. I have a neighbor to my left and a neighbor to my right in my own compound. You go ahead, Dama. Which one are you talking about? The bachelor, the one to my right. You mean bachelor? I said, bachelor, you ought to make so much. I'm telling you, bachelor living next door to me. What does he do? I don't think I have to keep quiet. I'm a mother. I don't like the way this bachelor keeps beating his own wife mercilessly. Every morning, he keeps hitting the woman. Who are you talking about? My neighbor. Which of them? The bachelor. What did you say he did? He keeps beating his wife. His own wife. We don't need any further evidence. People, it is in the language, the analysis. You have knowledge. That is why I was telling some people, I don't know if it was your class or that we are not wiser than God. We are not wiser than I said Tower of Babel in the Bible. God changed the people's language, God himself. Genesis chapter 6. You can go and read it. If you don't do Bible, just Google Genesis chapter 6. Like you are referencing Socrates or something, or Aristotle. Back. Is it chapter 6? Okay. Why am I giving information? Let me not go and give wrong information. He said, these people, the way the people is one. What did God do? He changed the language. Language is powerful. I told you, I think that one I know it was main campus. Even if you believe in that, when you get the Holy Spirit, the Bible says, you will be given a language. Why? See, sometimes you don't even know what to pray for. So that he'll pray for you. He'll take over and pray. This is for those who do Bible. Why? Because you can be praying, fire. I think it was your place. Fire Michaela. God, fire her. And I said, fire her. Fire. And she's not the one. But if he takes over and is praying for you, he might turn your tongue to pray the way that you must pray. It is language. Otherwise, if the person helping you is the one you are going to pray against, then you will stand in judgment. So your language can put you into trouble. I can use several instances to show you that how you are speaking, deductive logic level 300, is about how you're speaking, not even the content. That's why we say if P, then Q, element of formal logic, godliness. It's the same thing. If P, then Q. P has happened, therefore Q. Why do you think we can put P and Q and whatever inside the set and keep talking? Because it is just the pattern we are looking at, the pattern of thought, not what the content is about, but how you are thinking. If it's true that women like money, and it's also true that your lecturer is a woman, then it must be true the lecturer likes money. It has nothing to do with whether she actually likes money or she doesn't. We are not talking about actuality. It is the how. And on that note, I have to help you patiently distinguish statements that are analytic from those that are what? Synthetic. I think it was Genesis chapter says that it said, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth. And can we get out of Babel? Anyway, I'm done. Say, I think say is answered. There was a next hand that I saw, and so I want to take it. If they confuse your language, you can speak rubbish. I'm not speaking just literal language. And two people don't agree because they are speaking different language. Imagine group work or a company, and you are the project lead, and everything you say is misunderstood. How can you progress? See that? So language is powerful, especially how you are saying it. I jokingly tell you all the time, someone, I think it's Genesis 11. This is the Noah's Ark. This is the chapter 11. God, he just changed their language. He didn't throw any bomb from heaven. He just changed their language. And the people could progress. Language is very powerful. Let me now I think Vincent is sorted. Ufida, please go ahead. I'll take one more, then I'm done. There's nothing to add.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, precious lady.
Please, I was asking, what if I say, what's the name? The bachelor is a Roman father. Please,
What has it done? Yes, what has it done? You're asking me whether it's analytic or synthetic, right?
Yes, please.
What do you think? I think it's synthetic.
Okay.
Am I defining bachelor? No. Okay. Am I using means of, if it is an analytic, the thing is true by definition of terms. So you want to say there are Roman fathers that are not. I don't want to be the one saying that. Or there can be other things about the bachelor, apart from the bachelor being a Roman father. He could also be, give me some other things. It could be a son, the mother's son. So a bachelor is a Roman father, but a bachelor is also a son. And a bachelor could be a brother, and a bachelor could be a student, and a bachelor could be, all those are informations about it. But when I say a bachelor is an unmarried adult, it's not information I give you. I just repeated.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you too. I think it's clear. Is there any other question? If not, then we will quickly. There's a hand up. Michael Bauer, go ahead.
Doc, please. Does this have any implications for epistemology?
It does, a lot of it. It means when you produce evidence at the law court and it is empirically grounded, you see that, then we will have to wait. So you see that everybody, but this guy, let's use what example can I give? Someone that we think obviously the person has been caught red-handed with with a phone. We saw him, Gani. Well, I saw him. See? Why is it that the people are dragging the matter? They won't pass the judgment for us to go there. Could you have been dreaming when you saw it? But we thought the sciences is giving us the justification for our claims of knowledge. But can we rely on the sciences for absolute certainty? However, if it was a linguistic difficulty, suppose the person said, I wasn't there that day. Me, that place, I've never gone there. However, when I went there that day, I didn't touch the door. They said someone has entered there. Me, I didn't touch the door. You said you weren't there. Now you were there. It can redirect the investigation. Epistemology is interested in knowledge and claims of knowledge. Please look on my screen, everyone. Look at this. Philosophers are reflecting on what we claim to know. So, and we have encountered a problem. I told you the problems are like eating beans. Then you meet a stone. Or you're eating fufu, then you meet a lamp. Okay, you meet it. So it's a problem. You are trying to unravel it, or you are tying a knot. Then it has become too tight. You can't untie it. That is the problems of philosophy. Why can't you untie it? If you turn it this way, as if it's solving, then the other side somersaults and turns it. It's problematic. So we seem not to have a conclusive, response to it. That's why those two perspectives or those different perspectives continue holding sway with the people. Okay, one of them is the question of knowledge. Then we try to find out what does it mean to say we know, and how do we even come to know what, and how do we justify our claims of knowledge? That is what is on your screen now. I hope you saw it. So I want to. From that one, we try to answer them. Please reference the notes, okay, as well, and add it to this one. We said that, traditionally, conventionally, after our deliberations, people have come to the conclusion that, look, whenever I say I know, three things are at play. There is a claim, something being said. That claim is true. The person saying it believes that it is true, and he or she can give justification for it. Okay? So, justified, true belief is what should constitute knowledge. Now, if I say something, one of the things I'm saying and the justification I'm giving to it for it to constitute knowledge may be analytically proven or synthetically proven. Boss, you see the point, Michael? So yes, I can be in Ghana. Yes, I can be in Ghana and by analysis determine the truth or otherwise of something that is happening in Canada. Oh yeah, I can. If it is analysis, I can say that no, we can't convict this person. Or we cannot begrudge that person. We can't hold him accountable for this. Because if the other one said, we were dealing with a case of a suicidal case, then how can the thing be suicide and you still want to hold someone accountable? If you say suicide, my dear friends, God forbid that for anyone. What is suicide? It means you are saying it was self. So are you addressing the suicidal matter or you're addressing who instigated someone to commit suicide? What are you doing? So by analysis, I can address a concern. I don't need to be there by that method, analytic evaluation. Look at all your research things that you do for levels 300 all the way to 400, project work, longest thesis. One of the tools is conceptual analysis, analyzing concepts. So we say we are practicing social democracy. What is that? We say the church is a family church. What does that mean? If it's a family church, when we close, then the few people who have cars move their car and go. Is that how family people treat themselves? At least you pick one or two people, drop this one on the junction, you drop that one, so that everyone can continue from wherever they get to. So we analyze the concept, conceptual analysis in sanitary. It is a skill which helps unravel the claims of knowledge we make. And we can go the analytic way or the synthetic way. Synthesizing means the person has come in, giving some evidence, for example. Then you go and check that evidence against the status quo. I say that, look, if you look into my account, I don't have this much, let alone to even say that it passed through my account. You can go and check. So Nancy doesn't have this much. What do? We go to the account. We can check how much money has come in and how much money has gone out. Okay, so that the synthetic method is helping address questions of knowledge. When someone says this child is not his, the one that came in the news, that fine footballer, who has lived with a woman and they gave birth to children, the children have grown. And it turns out that the children are not his. How did they find that out? It's an epistemological issue. How did they find? They use the empirical method. Could it be that they are his and that one day we are going to find out that the method that we used to do DNA tests and whatever had a certain flaw? Could it? Is a question. Could it? It could. It could. Could it be that virgins could get pregnant? Could it be that black, you and I, very dark skinned, could give birth to a child that is Chinese? You can't hear me, eh? Hey, you can hear, right? Could it? Who knows about that? The child the color is Chinese, the face, the hair, you know that, look at the hair texture, everything, and yet both man and wife, dark. They had to trust themselves to say what has gone on. It defied the empirical until further research showed that we can have the traces to so and so number of generations, and once in a while one can pop up. So the empirical could err. That is why the rationalist says, yeah, I will not trust for justification. That's the third question on my screen, this one. We know how we know, those are the two methods. But how do we justify our claims of knowledge also takes us here. Also takes us here, justification. The empiricist the rationalist won't depend on empirical grounding for every claim of knowledge. For some, yes. What hair will Nancy wear tomorrow? Or 2 days from today, will it rain or not rain? We will need empirical evidence. So that I don't think the rationalists will say, media, I think that if we get a prophetic person who can see into the future, tomorrow by this time, truth will abound. He wasn't speaking the empirical. He was appealing to knowledge that is coming to him outside of what the census is saying. Because the woman is, look at Sarah, 90 years. Johnny, everything inside the Father Abraham had become Kojoto. You know Kojoto? Has become Rekesels. And yet, he hoped against hope. So that kind of knowledge and certitude, to be certain that he had, it's not from empirical. The doctor would have said, look, you don't even have, your womb has shrunk. That you're even alive walking around, Lady Sarah, is grace. How many make it to even 70 now? And then 80 and 90, just to be alive, for your nerves to hold each other, and then you can walk, cry, is grace. Then this person goes to the doctor. Imagine you went to a prenatal prenatal sessions. Grandma, 90. She has also come up. You can imagine how people will look at him. She's just coming to learn, so that in case she gets pregnant, she'll know what to do. Because the empirical cannot ground that. So that kind of knowledge, which is epistemology, that is what we are doing, which someone can be so convinced about. And it wants to defy the fibroids and the sizes of the person's health and whether the person can even subside. There are people, they get to the hospital. I want to use the health things. And when the medical, and they are not local champions, so to speak, very renowned experts who know their stuff in the world of the empirical. So when they look at the patient and say, hey, did you work here by yourself? Say, oh, I just felt a little headache behind my neck like this. I thought that you come and say, and you walked here? You are not dead? They immediately die, hey, please set the bed over there, let him lie down. Or let her lie down. Sometimes someone carrying a baby, they are shocked. You didn't die? Because empirically, it shouldn't be possible. Should it be possible for people to walk on water? We can go on and on and on. So I'm just trying to say that that is the contention. From science to education, can you tell whether the current president will attain what it is that you are expecting him to attain? Can you tell? Even what will happen tomorrow? Empirically, no. Rationally, no. The empiricist is waiting to see, based on predictions and expectations, that yesterday was like this and like that. So hopefully tomorrow it will be like this and like that. Do you know? That's the question. Problem of knowledge. Now, so the analytic statements are helping us look at the ones that no matter what happens, we don't need tomorrow or today, or we don't need to go into heaven or hell. By the languages of, we can tell that that one cannot happen. You see, they take them out. They have necessity associated with them. Not because they are talking about actual existence. They are just talking about the form. So it's just how we speak that you are using. Then synthetic ones are dealing with content proper. And our language is a mixture of analysis and what? Synthesis. All the time. Your ability to apply the tool on concreteness is what makes you a more seasoned person. So, my brother, it has every, influence or input into epistemology. Okay, so this slide is on justification. Some would be okay. Why are you saying that we should blame this brother? Say, I say he's not the teller. Do you hate the guy or something? Let's say exam. It's exam time, so let's use that. Exam time, then a chief vigilator or someone after the exam says you fill the form. You're making a complaint about it. He said, me, why should I feel? He said, you were copying from a paper. He said, me? What forbid that for any one of you? Don't do that. The people of integrity. Then there's argument. So the chief comes in and says, what is happening? Then the invigilator says, this person was copying from a sheet of paper. And because we didn't want to obstruct her work, I didn't interrupt. But we are done, and I want her to fill the form. Then the student said, me? I have never done that in my life. Me, I was so great. Now, when we ask for evidence, so we are asking the invigilator, what is your evidence for claiming that someone is copying? He says, well, I have a divine inspiration. Me think I say, I am a jet person, bow. Every year, me think. I can discern. At lecture, this network, I'm getting the signal. So it's gone. Can you hear now?
You can hear, please.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Because once in a while see poor network quality, then I know that maybe there's a hiccup, then I pause. You see, you can discern if we are all in one faith, listen, and we share a common distance. We can agree on that. Even that, look at the people of Berea. I put all that in the previous. Berea is a group that listened to the word of God from a so-called apostle of God. When I say so-called, understand me. It's just a boss, but they went and checked again. Hey, these Berea people, they won't say that, oh, apostle, doctor, his eminence, a sharer of the Trinity, this title. Therefore, when he said it, it's okay. No, they went to check. Let us go and check, confirm if these things we are hearing, it is as it is written. And if you do that, God likes it. Because maybe what God told me, I didn't hear it well. Or he told me that 5 minutes ago, and because he's God and he's sovereign, he wants to tell me something else this minute. So he might be, if you go to, he wants that. Even little Dr. Max, Nancy, I don't want to be mediators. No. No, please, my friend said, we should come and ask you if this. Why does your friend think that you can pull my look? You know, I want to be very that if you come there, I will listen. No, it is not good. Because when someone tells someone to come and tell someone, by the time it gets to the person, the telling of someone of telling someone of telling, not free. If it's so span, you the soup into, they transfer it to the other and transfer it. By the time you finish, you know how much of the soup you would have kept in the different saucepans. And how the different scents in those soup, bowls can mix up with the soup. So maybe one you haven't washed it, but the soup is still. The other one had some yesterday okra stew. Then this one had this stew. Those who sell it, sometimes they will use this little fetch a little granite soup. I don't understand why. I didn't eat granite. I want a bear quiet, palm not. Then the lady has fetched a little granite. Is going to fetch this. No, every soup must have it later. They are serving. Some do it nice. Others makes it as if it doesn't matter. You should be able to. Did I tell you I want that one? Before you know it, you are eating rice soup and there's palm oil on the rice soup, which is a delicacy for some. I didn't say I want rice soup with palm oil. What am I saying with all these illustrations? When someone hears it and the person is also going to pass it on, and that one also passes it, there's a place for that. Maybe a class something, so the class will agree. Then it's okay. Let's tell our rep to do that, or group leader. There are places for that. You have to be organized. So that's understandable. But when people think that, hey, I don't know how I'm going to tell Doc for me that assignment one. If you do that, you won't get the help you're looking for. I'm telling you. Go. You are paid school fees, you are paying or you shall pay. It is something entitled to come here boldly to the throne room of grace. That's what God, even God the Creator says so. If you think that there is a concern we have with City Campus, you can knock on the principal's door with respect. If that is where the channel that you have to go to, maybe they have given reporting channels from one to the other. That's fine. Don't go ahead and go to them. But if it's a concern, why? I'm not a human being, born of God. You just have to be respectful. Even if you went ahead, you can say, oh, this is fine, but I think this one should report to the secretary first. Let's see what she has to say. That's all. You know, so I've said plenty things and I'm bringing it to justification. Please look at your screen. It's something that the two sources also serve as justification. One group says, I can't accept sensory justification. It's not strong enough. For some things, yes. But for other things like God exists, the senses don't tell me that. It doesn't give me the basis. Justification means what is the reason for saying what you are saying. Then you accuse someone writing an exam that she has copied. When I say accuse, I'm already judged. You are claiming that someone writing an exam has copied. Then we ask you, what is your basis for saying that? And you say, I have an edge. As soon as you say, Maybe you are so right, but how do we share it? How do you convince me? The one who doesn't have that ish and discernment. You see that? So when it comes to that, you see that the empiricists will say, give us further and better particulars. And then imagine the gentleman comes out and calls the coordinators at the center. And then they switch on the CCTV cameras recording. Come and see Johnny. Who told us Pepe? This is Johnny sitting down, paper in his hand, writing. And he says, that is the evidence I have. Even that, some may say it might be a forgery, doctored tape. Come in, doctored forgery. You see that? So we will keep going and going. That's why sometimes they call the first hearing visit, then they call the second. Then they go, okay, it's not my, it was outside. God bless you. You give birth to twins. Take care. I'm online. That is why. If you want to, some few minutes, you're coming for your papers. Which one? My people, forgive me. 417. Yes. Good afternoon. They will be in this time, please. Okay. If you put the whole pile, you can find yours. They are clearly labeled, so please pick the whole pile. Some are level 200, level 300, everything there. Then you can put yourself. My field 308, field PHCL201 CITY campus. Forgive me. Okay. Your seniors were here. You want to pick their eye, so I had to interrupt your lecture. And I had left my key outside, so they got it. People. So you see that the justification you are giving, the justification you are giving can be queried by the other person who doesn't share it. So that is why some case adjourned. Well, next week, or if it's the hospital, they'll still go for a third opinion or a second opinion. You see that meetings upon meetings, deliberations, parliament, we'll talk at why. We are trying to get closer to what we can agree on as what we know. So based on knowledge, we can act. I think that, and that is what took us to the language, those very important terminologies. And I ended it here. The rest we can build on later. So statements that are analytic, which you can know the truth value of without any, excess work, just by looking at the language. Okay. The statements that are synthetic, which you depend on observation. Then these two, a priori and a posteriori, are just describing how you came to know it. So that at this stage, you'll think that analytic statements are known a priori. Don't do any observation whilst synthetic truths are known a posteriori. Okay, these are the tentative conclusions. When it's tentative, it means it's not final yet, because others have done a reflection on this and have raised queries and have brought their point of view that you can learn later. At this stage, we introduced you to the problem of certainty. How can you be certain about claims of knowledge? Is there certainty at all? Perhaps something that analytic truth have a certain degree of certainty. It has linguistic certainty, but does it have concrete certainty about what is out there? We may or may never know. When we do can't visit, we will see what they say. I am done on this paper, on this topic. Do you have any questions on this one? I mentioned it off the record that you will do 3 essays. We'll moderate, we haven't finalized, but 3 essays, 20 marks each, will give you 60 marks. Then your interim assessment was over 20. You did assignment online. You did a number of in-class, a good number of them. Take sheet of paper, group presentation. That group presentation you did, it will count so that it can be for your thing. Okay, group presentation, online assignment, take sheet of paper, +1, participation, what have you, attendance. I take attendance every week. Maybe if not, maybe 90%. Some of the take sheet of papers is just to check who was present to hear the lecture, who was absent, okay? And stuff like that. Those will constitute your 20%, which will add to your 20 IE and your 60 final exam to get you the A that you are so much working for. Okay. So someone says, Doc, so the topics we've done will all come. Look at your screen. I want to show you. I always tell you that, my dear friends, and I mean it. One question can have a bit of everything in it. The way you can have Papa Pransa. How many of you know Papa Pransa? If you know Papa Pransa, say yeah. I want to use it to explain something. Just when they serve it at event, it gets finished early, especially if it's done very well with a little red beans and very, very tasty. I like it when the pepper is hot. And then the okoto, the crab is on it with the hand. The crab has claws in it. That thing you see like that, there's corn in it. Tell me the things that are inside. First, we open us. I can show you the. Please, those who don't have a answer, you can give me cross answers. What is inside? Palm nut. Very good. What else? People, I'm listening.
Salt.
Salt. Oh, what else? The main ingredients. You can say it in Ghana. I speak Ghana. Pepper, onion. Abele mamu. Yes. So there is tuna. If you do it well, there will be yam. Someone say yam. Groundnut is inside. Very good. The groundnut is what has been blended with it. That thing is a whole combo. What kind is it? Dynamite. Everything is inside. And then they finish and mold it into ashes. Garden egg. One soup. One food. When you put it in the mold, it's like that. Hey, right. The way you look at. Invite me to your home, I think. Is it for money? Hey, right.
Yeah.
I think Rare. Hey, rare come. And they mean to venture. I cannot tell. Is that rare in a then I have not tried that. Under is not inside. Hey, brah. Yeah, but So one meal, if you don't know it, go and finish. Go and Google about pasta. When they say what will take you out, ladies, what will you eat? They say, I want Turkish this and Chinese that. But madam, I say hope that Papansa will cut those. Papansa will cut on it like that. Let them cut it into cakes for you and eat and enjoy it and pack the rest with and people. So all the ingredients. So one question can have that. It can be multi. I said all the best. Don't worry about the math. We'll work on that. Okay. So my people, look on your screen. We will do a bit of. We can have one question that has free willism, determinism, with a bit of account concept there, which is seeing how real or how something appears to be in one question. The reason is so that you can write freely. You can show your reflective abilities and then demonstrate an understanding of the concept. Okay, and application. You can have what is the other one? Personism together with mind-body problem and the cheese reaction to something. Okay, so I'll definitely give you five. I think I'll give you 5 questions. Then you pick it and say, don't punch and say that because we have done all these topics, there will be a question on each. So when it comes to me, I'll answer this one because I may not ask you straightforward. If I do that, you will struggle. I will ask you in a way that your intellectual contact with the course can be brought to bear. You will feel free to navigate so on and talk about, we've been at this one, and then listen. When we say assess, I'm not asking to narrate. Assessment, mark the thing, assess it, weigh it, judge it, and see. So do a critical assessment of, if you like, something. Personism. Assess it. Don't come and tell us the story. We know already. You see, analysis, just like that. Show the connections. Open the thing out and show that if you say this, then it will mean that. And if it means that, then it can't mean this. That is why it will lead to this. For example, this. And you express your writings with what? Illustration. It's a good way of speaking. He says, and the kingdom of heaven is like. So that the plenty token can be related to the person. So for instance, person may be this and that and that. However, because the person also belongs, he or she may hold obligation towards mom, dad, school. Which topic do you think I've just given an example? Which of the topics on your screen? Hey, you're pitching that papa and you are all going to sleep.
Individualism in the individualist
Excellent.
community.
Papa, you're very smart. That is what I was giving an example. You see, that the person may have a uniqueness and this and that. And however, person also necessarily belongs as a mother. As a, you know what I'm doing? I'm putting illustration example to make the point clear. So you don't have to say plenty things. You only have to say complete and hit the point. But when you finish, then you relate it. Look at the allegory of the cave. If you don't like the parables I'm talking about, Plato wants to teach deep concept. Look at how he illustrated them. He says, look, what I'm telling you is like a man who found himself in a prison with others, all chained. If he gets the opportunity to climb out, as climbing, you see that all the things I thought were real were not real. Look at these are all shadows. He's speaking about knowledge, appearances, opinion, beliefs. But he says that when you climb out of those opinions, people's viewpoint about you and how they see it, and they are all depending on what they see, they can't look beyond your kambu that is planted at this time of your life. They can't see the future beyond this physical you, who is transitioning. Everybody's changing. This is Plato, what he was saying. And reality is something that is inside of you, that is manifesting. Just like the egg has something essential inside it. It's just a matter of time, it will be chicken. If it was snake egg, and go and put it under your bed by Aquantere. So they give you the eggs of a snake. You didn't show it's not snake, it's just egg. Put it under your pillow. In 3 days' time, you see the thing that is manifest. In 3 days' time. If you left your pillow, that will be snake. You say, the man told me that so now I think was essentially snake. And so we talked about that in the past, right? We are more jata. You have gone to take the jata. Jata is what? Lion, eh? Yeah. The lion's daughter. You think it is a cat. It is a matter of time. The essential will come out. Plato was doing that. That's why he was teaching that what is inside he who is born of God today, that is Bible, cannot sin. Not that you don't commit it, but your nature has changed, and that you don't know. So these are deep things, but the author uses symbols, and I've moved from church to, Plato, philosophy, to show you write like that. When you write like that, it's easier to read what you're saying. So you can't write like that if you don't know the concept. So you must remember you did the concept of a person, and I'm descending now. Person according to Chichi. I can't touch. Because there are other versions. And the key things, material, immaterial. The immaterial has two parts itself, blah, blah, blah. We have done it. Okay? There's a part that really defines the essence of a person. And it is not the material part, the body. No. Even though they are causally connected. That's why I say they are interactionists. We see some parallelisms in his and that of Descartes for Western thought. We can critique with the help of Reid some seeming divergences that the church doesn't acknowledge. Okay, like the soul doesn't think, but in Descartes, non-physical as soul, mind, is also responsible for thought. It's coming from Reid. These things have gone on topic 1. And subordinate to that was personal identity. What makes you the person you are? For example, I was born and I could wear a diaper and lay on my mother's lap. If I find myself today as a lecturer in the 40s, on what basis do I say that I am the one that was lying on my mind? You see how the example is helping? This is the problem of personal identity. I may say that I'm different from Michaela. Forgive me, Stanis. I want to remember the names. On what basis do I say I'm different from Eduse Rachel? Oh, but I have my unique body and she has had hers all these years. That's okay. But what then establishes sameness? So the problem of personal identity is twofold. You see how it must be very, so concretize it, make it alive. Otherwise, it will be abstract. Anyway, then you look at the problem with the unique body view. You look at problems you can have. Why are we looking at problems? We don't want to pretend as if it's the word of God, holy and acceptable. It's a lie. We are solving societal issues. We need to know. And we identify the problems and try to grapple with them and find solutions. That's the philosopher's task we have given to ourselves. Watchmen or the watchman. So we say that if we're going by bodily view, then if the person does plastic surgery, then he's not the one. That is an issue for immigration people. Yes, investigator, slow down. Don't say he's not the one. You look at those who do serious investigating work. Look at what they do. Sometimes they don't even look at the faces. They say, no, the person committing the crime is not a man. Every trace he's living is like a man, but his intention is diversionary. We need images. We need some. You see, also one green movie. Your mind must be thick. Thick mind. So that is what we are trying to do. Should we rely on fingerprint? What if the person cuts off the finger, wears gloves? How do we determine whether this is the same person that robbed us at the top there and has come to rob in Accra and is robbing at this? How do we establish sameness? This is the concrete issue. So you do that and show. If we rely on memory, people can forget. Even subconscious. Sometimes you are here, you don't even realize that you have put your pen in your head. That's your lecturer's example I always give. I put it in my head myself. Let me show you. So I can be conscious and not self-conscious all the time. So perhaps where do you stand? You show the challenges. Depending on what the question is asking you to do. You take a position if you have to. You show that is why it might be difficult to hold an issue. Maybe we do a combination of the two all the time. Or look out for this possibility, that possibility. Back on our screen, let me see. Quick obstacle. Then, as for free will and determinism, we know it's are we free? Our actions are conditioned by antecedent factors. Is determinism necessarily predeterminism? No, not necessarily. Okay, so look out for that soft versus hard, regret, internal, external, intention, purpose. So we need that. Dirty water. I'm intentional about it. Then I pick dirty water, maybe fresh fish that has been scaled right now. I pick it. You point on the person when they say, what we done this? It was meant to be. The grapher. It won't work. But what about when we are not sure the person did it intentionally, or we can never be sure, or we may never be sure? That is what our discussion on the earlier discussion we had on knowledge is about. But what are the measurable, instances we can use to check whether this one was intentional or it wasn't? We may never be able to attain certainty, but at least we can work towards looking at some signs, some signals that show whether there was at least an indication of what intentionality. That is why you have caught the person red-handed. But bring him, let us establish and see. Maybe it was under compulsion. If you don't do this, we are killing all your children, your wife, your mother, your this. Yeah, they show you a video of all of them gathered. It is sign that document. Otherwise, we burn them alive. So the man is the one moving around, doing the bad thing you see. But what's causing it? Is it a choice freely made or a compulsion sparking his act? He is acting. By he doing it himself, you think God would have come to die for us? Christian people. You realize that people can't help themselves. It's like the crabba, the shamono, the chamber pot. We had become like that. Put your love inside. It is still crabba. It's shamono. Chamber pot. If you don't know chamber pot, don't worry. After class, send me a message. I'll Google and I'll show it. There was nothing we could do about it. You try and do all the can. It's like prepared nice jollof, but the container that the thing is inside is the problem. You have to take God to help us. Says the faith. That should tell you that sometimes people are even willing to do the right thing, but they are compelled. Or maybe they are not. We think. That was what that discussion was about. Real versus determinism. What conclusions did we come to? When we think we are certain that people chose to act a certain way, so they should be held accountable. You see, that is true, morally. But is it always the case that people actually did that, or they didn't have options? We gave you 4 courses or 3 to choose from. Then we tell you, you should have gone to choose a certain course that was not even in your. How is that possible? If we even gave you a restricted number of choices from which to choose, how are you accountable for not choosing something that wasn't even the package at all? That's why it's problematic. We better send a back, pick it, maybe we are not, maybe ask God to answer us. We will have to be sober, we are philosophers. Won't be all over the place, pedestrian. You know, be discerning, calm. Real this is determinism. Then there is mind body problem. That one we know already. Are you just a mind, or you are a body only? People who are nothing, you die, finished, not beyond it. So I can come and talk to you respectfully anyhow and think that, oh, but have I beaten you? This and I said, did I hit you? Yeah. Don't you know that what you are saying can affect the psyche of people? People's psyche is not physical. You can tell someone something and the person will finish hard. You said all that in class. And what you said is not written on their body. You didn't pinch them. You didn't slap their face. But the person is satisfied. Me, as if he has eaten. And you can say something to someone is called psyche. Someone could call your spirit. My spirit is so down. You think a whole nation can be derailed into going against another group, another ethnic group or whatever, tribe. What do you think was used? Language. So something is physically being done, it is having a psychological effect. A team coach can speak and say, look, we're going to do this. Look at me. You can do it. You can do it. Mind-body problem. Something about mind, and the mind is no brain, but something that it is the brain's activity. So it's still mind. That's behaviorism, and the other is epiphenomenalism. How they have responded to the supposed problem. Is there nothing beyond the material? There must be something. That's an argument. What is that thing? We don't know. But we see its effect. Are they causally connected? Sometimes they say the thing is something that is having a physical effect. So some believe that there is a thing, another thing, entity, different from the body. Others think, oh, it's just the way we speak about the body. You see the different responses I'm summarizing like that. That was the mind-body problem we did, which led us to idealism. Is it the way I feel something that makes the thing what it is? Or the thing has its nature that I'm struggling to unravel? Is it my idea of something that makes the thing what it is? So I feel that the laptop is smooth, so it means the laptop is smooth. I may feel it to be smooth and it is not smooth for another person. So Russell wades into the debate between Locke and Berkeley, which we have revised over and over again, see that, and says, everyone slow down. It might appear to be something that the other person doesn't see it that way because of the point of view. Can we depend solely on what we know? In other words, how it appears to us. So I help you see it the way it appears to be. Common point of the supposed reality. But trying to get into the things real nature, we may never know. But as soon as we do a knowing of that, it will be someone's knowledge, which might not coincide with the other person. So can we have a picture that is what Russell came to do? Agrees with the idealist that every knowing will always be connected to a knowing mind. But knowledge, it disagrees with the idealist that trans reality transcends knowledge. So what I know of it may be what the thing actually is. That is the discussion. So see three things: mind-body problem. Inside it is idealism, materialism, proofs of Berkeley, the 5 proofs of Berkeley. See that? Then it took us all the way to reality versus appearance. So you see, we have done one. Look on my screen free with determinism, done mind-body problem with idealism attached to it. That helped us do reality versus appearance. The PDF is the reference itself. These are the slides. See. Then we already revised from Vincent's question, this certainty, synthetic, a priori, and then the personist argument. This is person and community. And then Miles's personism, which says, why do you want to treat the human person as if she's an isolated atomic hermit living alone, dropped from the sky and will evaporate one day? It's a lie. That's not what human beings are. Human beings are necessarily interconnected. They actually are born into an existing, already functioning human society with rules and regulations, with language, precept, do's and don'ts. What you consider valuable, cherishable, elegant are all defined within a context. Before you even grow up to come and have rights as an individual. Does that make community overbearing and domineering, therefore should sit on the individual? No, the person is a lie. Because when a human being is born into society, human beings come with their uniqueness, their choice, their autonomy, see that their freedoms. So there is something complex about a human being. She's like fufu, a little plantain, a little cassava put together, pounded, blended into each other. Individuality merged and, a mixture mixed into communality. So what you have as a person is not the cassava, it's not individual, it's not the plantain. Community. You and I talking to each other. I'm not community and I'm not individual. You are not community and I'm not individual. You are a person. What's the difference? You are a being who has individuality mixed up with community. And another being like myself also having individuality mixed up. That is how complex human beings are. So what? So we engage people with that mindset. We don't think that you are an individual and cut you off all your belongingness and obligation and responsibility towards collective welfare. It is in your interest to naturally and necessarily protect belongingness wherever you find yourself. So if it is your neighborhood, you can't behave like a hermit. Midnight, you are burning rubbish because you want your compound to be clean. The smoke is going to your neighbor's house. She has 2 asthmatic children. What do you want her to do? No, we are not concerned. Imagine the morning she also opens her Lucy, the manhole, and then the something spreads onto the street. You like it. So if we will cohabit, we will look at collective interest. It will guide us without necessarily infiltrating or imposing on our rights, our freedoms, and our entitlement. So it is driving between the two. That is the challenge. When there is a conflict, is it exchanges? No, it is just like your soul having a contention with your spirit. If they are two, they are all inside you. Who are you going to sack? You don't sack anybody. You learn how to manage the two. And there's a paper I'm doing, I think I told you in class, self-rule. I never get time to finish the last time. The idea is there, but to sit my bottle that self-rule, ruling yourself. Yourself is a composite. How you rule it. I subject myself. That is what Bible says. Paul says, the good I want to do, I cannot do. The evil I don't want to do, that is what I do. Oh, wretched man that I am. You know what he's picking up? It's the same I. But the duality of the unity is a united one, but having a duality inside it. So there's a constant battle. Now bring that idea again to your communality and your individuality. You want to go this way, but because of your belonging, you're a mother. You say, I'm going to turn my face to. I've done plastic selfie. Now I want to walk around looking like a tiger. That example I tell you. What about my children? They have a right mother. So can I manage my, because where my right ends, another's one begins. See that? Can I manage it? Manage means what? I shouldn't have my right shoot. But this more money I've come to put on the table. When the other sitting next to me, you see, I like my money, or let's use something that is less controversial. The way I want to wear my own, I'm done to eat banana. I want to enjoy my food. I'm talking about someone, not Nancy. No. You want to remove everything so that the food can enter. So the food and all that papansa we talked about. Shepe, life soup, kakra, I think when kakra sinche, the palm not pesta. Consider this is food. But as soon as you see that, you remove everything, and then just the tube, your tube, now, so that the food are sitting at a public space. You want to do the same thing. Why? You are behaving as if you are an atom. You are not atom. You are not like the stone. The stone can drop anywhere. You are a human being. That is Miles's argument. So human beings individual freedoms, but that freedom is curtailed. Constantly engaging and dialoguing on anything with what? A communality. So the sister is a Muslim sister. And she really wants to come and do the home econs practicals, but she's doing Ramadan fast. So it will be difficult for her to taste the food and do this at that time. You have to be conscious of it. Also, why be also if you are the one managing it? So we see how okay, can we shift it a bit, or then could someone else taste? Because it's something you're going to grade there for. She has to come with her hijab. Her hair must be covered. That is her fate. It's part of her being. You see, everybody remove everything. You will taste it. If you don't taste it, minus 10. That is an infringement on right. This is what we are trying to say. You are not looking at people as having their distinctness, but at the same time as being a part of an interconnected whole chain. You want to put her as one of the chain nuts out of there. How will she be joined to the whole? And so, to bring everything to an end, Miles's personism says, I am not solving all the problems, but I think that we can clarify what it is we are dealing with. A complex entity called person. Change the tone. Don't call the person an individual. If you call it a dog, you put it outside and the rain will hit it, whip it. A being is a person, which means what? At once, there are individuality features, subjectivity, consciousness. How she heard what you said is paining her. She's not like you. That is unique to her. So we will have to see how to manage that. If we thought we spoke to everyone, nobody was offended. Why is that HCL? Why shouldn't she? Are you her? We can help see it her perspective. We have learned that from Russell. But we must be conscious of the individuality of people. Respect that space. However, at the same time, we want to help ourselves see that we can't also be hermits. And me, I don't want that thing. You live in a community, so I don't like greeting people, but you have to greet. Because if you go and you are falling down, it's human beings that can come and help you. And that is what the personist response to the mind-body, the individualism community. So I think we had a wonderful semester together. You will want to make use of these mopups and then prepare. I'm on your platform. So please, when are you writing the exam for this paper? I hope they haven't changed the date again.
18th February.
18th. Oh,
yes,
wow.
please.
Okay, it's good. When it comes, you know how I do it. I don't sleep. I'm a question. If you write plenty, let me say it. Sorry, don't get offended. Rubbish. I'll burn it. I'll take things and put it inside so it can burn fast. Those who write half a page, Miss Remo, who write half a page, 3, I'll be showing them to do 1. Hey, for 20 marks, no. For philosophy, look at the essays. They are essays. I beg you, write half a page, 1 paragraph. Don't write, oh, dog, you are a woman of God. Yes, God created heaven and earth. That's a game for everyone. Yes. So don't come and play that one. I'm not that emotional. I'm level-headed by the grace of God. I have compassion, but I am not emotional. I can let you reset to make you better. We don't want that. So please do the right thing. 2.5, 3 pages. I will have to restrict you, otherwise you write plenty. But you're going to write 3 pages, 3 lines. Why are you joking? With all due respect. So look at the question, critically examine, assess, analyze. I don't think I want to do compare and contrast. That one will be 12 pages. But respond, comment, review. Do that illustration, and you do excellently well. I am. Any questions? You were very, very well comported. Keep it up. Thank you. I see all the reactions. If you that's why. I see all the reactions. And I want to end in case anything comes up. Then Semeko Richmond, please ask your question. Please, you are muted, so unmute it. Mona Lisa, I see your reaction. Unmute, your hand is up. Or you were testing your thing. Okay, ni loco, ni bano loco. Please ask your question.
Madam, please, for each essay question, what's the average number of words you expect us to write?
Oh, normally I would say, like I did with your level 100, I would tell you in not less than 2 pages and not more than 3 pages.
Okay, thanks.
I see. It's fair. I don't expect you to write 15 pages a day, for one question. But I can put you within 2 and 3 in between, not less than 2 pages because of what we are asking. Now, we require even mind-body problem, just at night. They come and do a critical response at the page. Then you go to how it leads to idealism. So something around that, not 3 lines. No, some to when they hear between 2 and 3 pages. 1 line, they write 3 words on it. they write 3 words on 1 line, so that